Join me as I dive deep into the science and challenge myself to figure out what's really controlling my dopamine levels. Dopamine is often referred to as the pleasure molecule, and for good reason. It's a crucial neurotransmitter that influences our feelings of pleasure, reward, and motivation. But dopamine's role goes far beyond just making us feel good. It plays a complex role in our lives, and understanding how it works can have a profound impact on our mental health and well-being. Many of us have been led to believe that dopamine is solely responsible for our happiness. We think that if we could just boost our dopamine levels, we'd be walking on sunshine every day. But the truth is, dopamine is just one piece of the puzzle. While it does play a role in our feelings of pleasure and reward, it's not the only factor at play. In fact, relying too heavily on dopamine can actually lead to addiction, anxiety, and depression. So, it's time to dispel some common myths and get to the bottom of what's really controlling our dopamine levels. Another myth is that we're just victims of our brain chemistry, that our dopamine levels are predetermined and unchangeable. But research has shown that's simply not the case. Our lifestyle choices, diet, exercise habits, and even our exposure to technology can all have a significant impact on our dopamine levels. So, if we're not happy with our current state, we have the power to make changes that can positively affect our brain chemistry. The reality is, our brains are wired to respond to novelty and excitement, which can lead to a constant pursuit of new experiences and stimulation. But this can also lead to dopamine receptors becoming desensitized, making it harder to feel pleasure and satisfaction. This is why it's so important to understand how our daily habits and choices are impacting our dopamine levels. One of the most significant factors influencing our dopamine levels is our relationship with technology. Social media, in particular, can be a major dopamine drain. Notifications, likes, and followers can activate our dopamine receptors, but they can also lead to feelings of anxiety, FOMO, and inadequacy. So, it's essential to be mindful of our tech use and find ways to balance our online presence with real-life connections and experiences. Our diet and exercise habits can also play a significant role in regulating our dopamine levels. A balanced diet that includes foods rich in tyrosine, omega-3 fatty acids, and antioxidants can help support healthy dopamine function. Regular exercise, on the other hand, can increase dopamine receptors and improve mood. But it's not just about the types of food we eat or the exercises we do, it's also about finding activities that bring us joy and fulfillment. So, what's the main takeaway from all of this? It's that balancing our dopamine levels is key to achieving better mental health and well-being. By becoming more aware of the factors that influence our dopamine levels, we can take steps to make positive changes. We can start to make conscious choices about how we spend our time, what we eat, and how we interact with technology. We can start to find ways to cultivate meaning and purpose in our lives, rather than relying on fleeting feelings of pleasure and reward. In today's video, we've explored the complex role of dopamine in our lives. We've discussed common misconceptions, factors that influence dopamine levels, and the importance of balancing our dopamine levels for better mental health and well-being. Thanks for watching, guys. If you've had any experiences with dopamine that you'd like to share, please leave them in the comments below. And if you want to dive deeper into the science behind dopamine, check out our video on the dopamine detox, where we explore how taking a break from technology can impact our brain chemistry.